All right, anybody got me in the chat here? Anybody can hear my voice? We'd like to open it up by letting you know that I'm here. Say hello in the chat. Let me know you can hear me, and we'll be good to go.
Thanks, Marcy. Did Tom get a raise? Did he win the lottery? I just got a sweet loan from One Nevada Credit Union. Smart move, Tom. Thanks. They have great terms, low rates, and an easy approval process. All I needed to do was find a sweet ride. Get a sweet loan for a sweet ride at onenevada.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Gambler's bonus hits again on May 24th.
All right, we're good. Looney Tunes, Caesar. Good afternoon, everyone. All right, here's what we're doing. It's quarterback week. That's what I'm calling this. Quarterback week. Who you got? Who you got? I'm done with this quarterback thing. Who you got? Let's go.
You're listening to the JT The Brick Show, where the Raider Nation has come to sound off and react for over 20 years.
It's time for JT the Brick.
You want a conspiracy theory? I'll give you one. There's no way you can sit in the boardroom on Park Avenue where NFL headquarters are and say the Raiders are going to open up with 2 on the road against the Harbaugh brothers. What are the odds of that? You're giving us the Atlanta game on Monday Night Football at the end of December. Thanks. Really appreciate that. Now, what you want to thank you, Roger? You just scoffed and mocked us. Like, you're nothing. We're nothing.
JT the Brick.
I'm defending the Raiders. You should be defending the Raiders. Very simple. Make the Raider Nation stand up, sound off like you got a pair. It's your time now to be heard. You got a flagship station that isn't compromised up north with a baseball team going out of business and another San Francisco football team and hosts that are in the pocket. You got me at the front gates of the Raider Nation trying to help you have a voice on this. So let's roll.
And now,
Raider Nation unite.
Here's JT the Brick.
Out of the gate. Out of the gate. JT with you as we open up the show. JT, here we go. Good. Out of the gate, we're ready to roll today on a busy day. Coming off the weekend here, opening up the show. Thank you for listening as we kick off our week on the flagship of the Silver and Black Raider Nation Radio. All right, we got this, Jess. Take it down. We're good. We're good. We're ready to roll. Hope everybody's good to go. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Bobby's out today. Jess is in. We got a busy week here, really busy week. For me personally, there's practices. I'll be on the sidelines for that. We got a lot of activations this week in the Raider Nation. Raiders are back in Vegas after Costa Mesa and Minneapolis. We'll get into all of that. So the Raiders are back home, and they're here for good. And they start off on the road, man. You're not going to see the Raiders at home until Carolina unless you're going to the practice and you're able to go to Allegiant Stadium, which you better. I hear these are going to be off the charts. So try to get into the practices. If you're going out to the facility practice, I don't know if you have tickets or not. That's not none of my business, whatever. But I'll be there for all of it. I'll report back. And this is a big week because Antonio Pierce, by this time next week, we'll know who the quarterback is for the Raiders to start the year. It's a very fluid situation. As we open up the season, we're one of only 2 or 3 teams out of the 32 in the entire league that has a quarterback issue, right? Who's going to start? They don't have that problem in Cincinnati. They don't have that problem in New York with the Jets or the Giants with Daniel Jones. They don't have it in Chicago with Caleb Williams, the number 1 pick overall. Jaden Daniels looks really good for the Commanders. Trevor Lawrence is going to start. Go around the league. Derek Carr is going to start. We, the members of the Raider Nation, we're the team. And we have one issue that we got to figure out. And some help to Colt Miller and Jackson Powers Johnson and who's going to be the second corner. There's some issues out there, but still the low-hanging fruit, which the national media won't even cover. Then you want to talk about non-coverage of the Raiders. Non-coverage of the Raiders. I would rank this all time, and this is year 27 for me. I would rank this number 1. I would rank it number 1 for lack of coverage from the media of the Las Vegas Raiders. I would rank it number 1. And I think this is a pretty good team. Really good team. There's been a couple of coaches that have been let go or removed. We're only in our 5th season, man. We had Gruden and McDaniels. Now we got a new coach in Antonio Pierce. But the national media looks at this team, maybe rightfully so, saying, hey, Raider fans, Raider Nation, we're done. We're done hearing how great you are and how loud you are, silver and black, all this stuff. Go win games. And that's kind of where we're at. But I don't have to be that guy. I don't care. I have had people behind my back. Oh, he's a cheerleader for the team. Oh, really? Oh, really? I'm a cheerleader for the team, huh? What do you want me to do? Root against the team? Some people want me to actually root against the team. Really, there are some knuckleheads out there that want me to come on and put my job on the line every game and say something stupid. Oh, I want the Raiders to win every game. I'm a season ticket holder. I want them to win every game. They're not going to win every game. So what I'm going to do in my small capacity on this platform is I'm going to hope they win and try to give you and frame the ways I think they can win the game. Even against Kansas City, even at Cincinnati. I'm going to tell you this is how the Raiders could win the game. I'm not going to go on the radio and say the Raiders are going to lose the game, but if they do that, that's not going to happen here. Okay? I'm not a journalist. I'm a fast-paced sports talk host. That's it. Who has a lot of access to this team. So some of it's on the record, some of it's off the record. Most of it's fan engagement. A lot of times I'm on the phone with fans. Hey, what do you think? I'm going to use this for the show. What do you think of this? Who do you like at quarterback? And that'll never change. And we're going to do that. We got to win some games coming up here. So the coach has got to pick a quarterback who can win one of the first two games. I want him to go 2-0. I think the Raiders could go 2-0. But that would be a best case scenario. That would be like climbing Mount Everest out of the gate and getting to the top in the first two games. Slow your roll. It's all about the Chargers. But before that, two pretty good teams coming into town. The Cowboys and the Niners. Oh, my God. Holy, that's a pretty good opportunity. So if you're helping out Raider Dad or you're helping out the kids in the neighborhood, I've always said this about preseason games. Give away your preseason tickets to kids. Give them away to kids in your neighborhood or bring a kid to a game. Take a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old to a Raider game for the first time because your tickets are really expensive in the regular season. They're not cheap in the preseason. Take someone new to a Raider game and teach them what it's like to be a Raider fan early in their life. And man, this schedule I wish the regular season schedule was this good. Wow. You get the Cowboys and the Niners back to back. I'm going to enjoy here the next couple of weeks here. And I'm not going to freak out the next couple of weeks, and I'm not diving all in. It's still summertime, August, maybe a day or two still to take before the start of the year, even though the kids are back to school. My son's going back to college in 2 weeks. ASU, he actually is in Disneyland today with a friend. My other son's going to the Yankee game tonight in Chicago as he's out there on business. So as the wife and I empty nest, we are drinking Modelo's by the pool, tequila Comisario, Remy Martin, La Casa cigars last night. Man, I grew up in New York, man. The summer doesn't end to me until Labor Day. The summer does not end for me until Labor Day. I'm on summertime mode. I am not JT out of my mind, Raider crazy. Oh my God, do or die. I'm still on a working vacation. And I get to call the games. And how excited was I for that? So let's begin. And we're brought to you by PTs. They fuel the monologue. 5 to 7, midnight to 2, the best happy hour in town. Man, I got a lot to talk about with Golden Entertainment. And the key is, we say book your fantasy football party at PT's Taverns and receive 10% off your party check, a free draft kit, and free Wi-Fi. The discount is not valid during happy hour, but you can have your lunchtime crowd. Come on in there. Build your fantasy team at PT's. We've been doing this for a really long time. $4 high noon. That sounds pretty good. $2 crunchy tacos. $5 brats. Oh, I love brats. That sounds great. $6, get this, Jess, $6 toasted ravioli. God, I've never had the toasted ravioli. And the pork pot stickers, all there on a great promotion there, fantasy football at PT's. So didn't fly out with the team, flew out with a couple of members of the Raiders staff on Friday, got to Minneapolis. Minneapolis is a pretty cool city if you're in downtown. It was so cool to get off the plane, and it was 76 degrees. Living in Vegas where it's 106, we had the most amount of 115 days ever in the history of this town, ever. Thanks to my buddy Dana Wagner, who keeps me up to date with the weather. So with all this happening here, it was great to land in Minneapolis. The Cleveland Indians were in town with the Twins. I had a big series going on. The city downtown's pretty cool. There's a couple of cool bars there. It's a good walking city. I touched the Mary Tyler Moore statue for good luck. Mary Tyler Moore, that now you might be young and not know who that is. You should. They have a statue of her right in the middle of a walking street. And we had a nice dinner, a nice steakhouse, and got together and hanging out with Matt Millen, Rich Cannon, Jason Horowitz, Lincoln Kennedy, Eric Allen. We sat down at a production meeting with the coach, Antonio Pierce, Luke Getzey, who was really good. And then they brought us Zeus, Zamir White, to the meeting. And, man, that was fun. Guy walks in, he could barely walk in the room. His legs are like trees, like stumps on trees. He told us how many more horses he bought. Jason Horowitz asked him, do you ride all the horses? He said, yes, sir. I ride every horse. This guy Zeus looks like he literally is doing work in the offseason with horses on a farm, and he's big. He's big. He's going to be a key to this year. What happens if he comes into this season? We know the Raiders are going to be run heavy. We know that. What happens if he has an unbelievable year? I'm not talking Earl Campbell, Tony Dorsett, but he's been in the league now. He went to Georgia. It's not like he went to Toledo. Not that there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with playing, at a smaller school around the country here. But the guy went to Georgia. What happens if we start feeding this guy and he's just running people over? He's getting like 4 yards a carry, and then he just starts running people over and lands forward, and it's 7. It's going to change everything. Bowers and Big Mike, and the team looked pretty good. So let's begin with the stop for the Raiders here on 4th down as it got the game going. These are Raider ones as the Raider starters are in the game.
Again, same formation on the right side. 3 receivers to the right here as Darnold is in the shotgun. Darnold looking right, then he looks back left across the middle to the back of the end zone. Broken up by Jacorian Bennett, EA. Big spot, big play for the Raiders secondary as they get a stop.
So the Raiders get off the field on that play there. Happy that I can bring you these calls along with Eric Allen and Lincoln Kennedy. So that was a nice stop. Now, if it was a regular season game, they wouldn't have went for it. They would have kicked the field goal and went up. So this is preseason. They went for it. Raiders got a stop. Jacorian Bennett was back there. Hey, Jacorian Bennett played a really good game. That should fill up my phone lines today for a little bit. Either you want Jacorian Bennett to start or you want to go get a free agent now. Right now, I mean today. If you're not comfortable with Jacorian Bennett starting opposite of Jack Jones, then you better go get a cornerback today and have him ready for the Cowboy-Niner game to play a little bit. And it seems like they're going to go with what they have here. Man, I was thrilled for this. The first catch, Brock Bowers, not regular season, preseason, but his first catch as a Raider.
Brock Bowers out to the left here, also far wide. As Aiden's in the shotgun, he's got time, throws it across the middle of the field. It is caught. Brock Bowers for a first down. Welcome to the Raider Nation out of Georgia. The 2-time Mackey Award winner, the 2-time national champ. There it is, EA. We said we'd call it. We got it.
I enjoyed that call. That's a good one. That's a check mark. I got a chance in history to call Brock Bowers' first catch with the Raiders, and it was a big one. And he ran a beautiful route, and he caught it, and he was able to go upfield. Oh, you guys missed that on YouTube. I didn't have the YouTube speaker up there. For YouTubers, we'll play that as a rejoin coming up here in a little bit. So Brock Bowers in space, Aiden O'Connell finding him. Aiden played pretty well. I thought, let's stop for a second. Aiden O'Connell played well. Guy's fighting for his job. He didn't hurt his chances. I thought Aiden played pretty well. So that's good that he was able to find him and get going. Now, the Jack Jones interception in the second quarter, this is a big one because Jack is the ball hawk on this team, and he gets one early in August. J.J. McCarthy in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers to the left. McCarthy's got time, setting up, looking, the pressure's coming, throws it out to the left, intercepted! Intercepted Jack Jones. Jack Jones comes across. That's an interception by number 18. The way he played in Costa Mesa, he's playing here in downtown Minneapolis. Is that the Eric Allen laughing track as I'm calling an interception? Eric Allen's so happy. He's just smiling and laughing. What a great guy Eric Allen is, man. So that was pretty cool to call Bowers and then an interception there. Really enjoyed that. So let's stop after these play-by-play calls, courtesy of Compass Media and Raider Nation Radio. Jack looks good. Jack looked really good in camp. He really did. Looked excellent in camp. He gets a pick here. He sees the field well. We got to keep this guy healthy. Okay, I know we want to look at him on kickoffs or punts. Let's keep this guy healthy. He's really important. He has to stay and play all these games this year, and he's not a big guy. He's not a big guy. He's a ball hawk. He's going to get beat on some plays because he's very, very aggressive. But he got a pick there, which was really nice. Gardner Minshew comes in the second quarter, and here's Gardner running, which is really important if he wants to get the starting position. Check this one out.
Two wide receivers to the right, DJ Turner and Wilkerson. Gardner's looking left the whole time. He runs out of trouble here. He can run for a first down and have a big game. Gardner's going to get out of bounds. Great play by Gardner Minshew to see that everyone was looking deep at the receivers. Linkety runs and picks up a critical first down, 1st and 10 on the 20.
Yes, Gardner Minshew running there for a first down. Let's stop the show. Really important what just happened there. Q and I talked about it in the hallway. That play. Could that be the play that gets Gardner Minshew the starting job for the Las Vegas Raiders? Look, there's going to be some big plays coming up in the Cowboy game. Pocket broke down. Gardner saw space, ran, picked up a first down. Has to happen with either him or Aiden O'Connell. Gardner's better. He's better at that. I think that Aiden's more accurate, might throw a better deep ball, I think. But can Aiden do that? Well, Aiden O'Connell's not going to do that in a week. That's something you have to build your whole life to do. So we'll see if he's able to do that. And really, if you're just joining us now, that's the focus of the show. I need to know who you have leading the quarterback race all week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This is quarterback week on the flagship of the Silver and Black Raider Nation Radio, brought to you by Modelo, the fighting spirit of Modelo. If you are a Raider fan, which I know you are, you have an opinion today at 702-365-9200. Who's winning? You know, in horse racing, when they're coming around, ready for the home stretch, and the announcer goes, and down the stretch they come. I mean, I stand up, Triple Crown race. They're coming around the far end, and down the stretch they come. Well, this is where we're at. We're down the stretch. Here we come. Who do you got? Who do you got as the quarterback for the Raiders? And that could change. Remember, I told you this is a quarterback competition. It could turn into a quarterback controversy. It could. If you don't like the pick, what happens if Aiden outplays Gardner in this game against the Cowboys and Coach Pierce says, I'm going with Gardner? There's going to be a lot of Aiden O'Connell fans saying, wait a second, I thought they were even. Aiden outplayed him. Why isn't he the starter? Because the head coach makes that decision. The head coach is in meetings and practices that we're not at. Okay, he's talking to other coaches. So we don't know. We're just a fan. We're the army of the Raider Nation. And your opinion counts on this show. Minshew, the touchdown to DJ Turner. We all knew DJ Turner's playing well. He's going to make the team, and he's going to have an impact.
Gardner's going to throw. Looks downfield, throwing towards the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! DJ Turner gets it in. Look at this. Touchdown for the Silver and Black. Great throw over to the right side. Gardner Minshew held for a second. Then Lincoln, you take a look at the throw overall. Great execution. 6 plays, 67 yards.
6 plays, 67 yards on that. So DJ Turner, that's the only tough thing I have to do as I'm doing play-by-play is quickly figure out who caught that ball in real time. When Minnesota does, no one cares. You know, Minnesota throws the ball over the middle. I got a second for my spotter to say that's number blank. DJ Turner, he's easy to see, man. He runs good routes. I'm excited I called the touchdown of his. So he gets in the end zone, which is really nice. Then Minshew has a big play to Trey Tucker, which is important. I'm not going to make any Cliff Branch references here, but Trey is a deep threat. He's an important player, and Gardner found him.
Minshew's got time. Now the pocket is basket. He's going deep to Trey. He's looking to try to find it. He finds it and brings it in. What a catch by Trey Tucker. He had to look up and find it, EA. He found it, dove, and came down with the ball.
Guys, usually that.
Yeah, that was nice there, too. So that was the big throw. And Trey had a pretty good camp. He's got to get rid of the drops, footwork, and all that. He caught a big play. So let me stop the show again, Jess. At this point in the game, the Raiders 1s and 2s versus the Vikings 1s and 2s. The Raiders won the game. Game over. Raiders win. Starters, come on out. Raiders were ahead comfortably, and they won. They won the starters, 1s and 2s, 1s. So for Raider fans looking to take away something positive, the Raiders outplayed the Vikings when it mattered most. They did. They were the better team. They were the better team the first half of the game. And then everybody's coming in. It's a scrimmage. It's a tryout after that. So I don't care. I would like to see the Raiders win every game. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the Raiders were better with the starters. They were better overall, which was important for me to see. Special teams on the Sanford blocked field goal here. This was a big play because special teams, the Raiders are really strong at it when it comes to A.J. Cole. What an asset he is, and Daniel Carlson. But defensively, the Raiders' special teams on defense is going to have to make a play. As the Vikings are on for a 36-yard field goal snap.
Blocked. It's blocked.
Here we go.
Here we go the other way. Look at this.
We're going to the
Raiders
house.
are trying to take it to the house. Cutting inside. What a solid play. Phelan Sanford on the play, on the recovery. He took it up there, Lincoln. I thought he was going to go.
Yep, so that was the block field goal there, which is, if it's a real game. Remember, we lost to these guys 3-0. I have nightmares about that 3-0 game. 0-0 as I walk to the Modelo postgame show. 0-0 with the season on the line. And remember, I told you, I thought Jimmy Garoppolo should have been in that game. I did. I really think at halftime, Jimmy G should have came in, kind of like a manager telling a pitcher, you're out, we're going to give someone else a shot. No, we found out they were going with Aiden the rest of the way. We lose to Minnesota 3-0. So somewhere in the fourth quarter, I look at Lincoln on the air, and I say, I don't like this score. It's 23-21, and they started laughing. They knew what I was talking about. If the Raiders were going to lose, they were going to lose on a field goal with no time left. I saw that coming a mile away. I've been down this road before. I look at the math, and I didn't take math in college. I use my cell phone for my math. When I tip in a restaurant, it's a big tip. I take out the calculator, man. I'm not great at math, but I see 23-21. I go, oh no, wait a second. What's going to happen here? And what bothered me about the game, which is not a big deal, but maybe it bothered you. Is the Raiders had the ability to put that game away, and they just ran it into the pile. Like, wait a second. Let's run a little, not a naked boot, but we got guys in who aren't going to make the team at quarterback. We know that. Let's just run some 7-yard tight end, quick throw, get a first down, have the Vikings use all their timeouts, and win the game. And the Raiders were taking timeouts and running the ball into the pile. Like, really? Okay. Why? I mean, we don't like to win the game, but the game doesn't matter. The Raiders' first half team won. You want to win every game, but I just thought at the end, when you got Cole Fortheringham and you got some of these tight ends, right? They're always saying we got a big tight end room. Well, Big Mike was on the bench and Brock Bowers, you don't have to play them. But run a little sprint to the right and a little toss to the tight end up for 9 yards, stay in bounds, and the Raiders win the game. They didn't seem to have any intention of doing that. They were just going to run the ball up the middle. So the criticisms I have of this game, let's get to the final call, because you knew this was going to happen. I mean, I was guaranteeing this in my mind, that if Minnesota got the ball late, they'd get to field goal range and then make a chip shot. They win the game. 3 seconds left as the Vikings are setting up to win the game on a 38-yard field goal attempt.
Because you can't apply pressure on the center. It's right down the
That
middle.
ball is down. Kick is right down Broadway in Minneapolis. And the Minnesota Vikings on the last play of the game beat the Las Vegas Raiders by a score of 24-23 as both teams come out now. So that was it. Final call on our Compass Media team, and that's some of the highlights of the game. I really enjoyed this opportunity to call the games in the preseason. It's really rewarding to work with the crew, and we had a lot of fun doing that. And, for the Raiders, J.J. McCarthy's really good. Now, he went up against the Raiders 2s and 3s. So what? He's a rookie. He's never played a game. What do you expect him to do? He went up against the 2s and 3s, and at times shredded the Raiders 2s and 3s. Picked them apart. Pitch and catch. A couple of blown coverages, a couple of routes over the middle of the field. J.J. McCarthy's a good player. He really is a good player. Raiders potentially could have got him. Like, that was the final guy that the Raiders could have got if they wanted to trade up. They were not going to get Drake May. They weren't going to get Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. I mean, everybody predicted J.J. McCarthy going to the Vikings. So if the Raiders wanted to trade up and make that move, the Giants, here's one for you, the Giants could have got J.J. McCarthy. They didn't. Will the Giants go on to regret? Big Blue Wrecking Crew
not taking J.J. McCarthy. And I don't know, but he looked pretty good. So I got a chance to call J.J. McCarthy's first game. First game since he won a national championship. He's a good player. He's going to be good in this league. Again, I'm not going over the top. I just think he's all right. And I was impressed to see him play. So after that, we got on the team plane and flew back and got in around 9:30. Always fun, get on the bus, and there's a police escort back to the building. And then there's a fun little quick story. My wife was picking me up. She was on the way. And I walked out to the parking lot with Mad Max, and he showed me one of his new vehicles, which I'll leave off the record. And I was like, whoa. He goes, yeah, go sit inside. I go, whoa, okay. It's nice to be a young football player making the amount of money that these guys make, where they could leave their car in a spot for 3 weeks, and you could pay for a home or a mortgage on the price of these cars, all well-deserving. And Max was great with the fans, and Max signed a lot of autographs, and he was really excited about that. So that's where we stand. Everything's wide open today. If you're on YouTube, we got 95 people in there right now. I got 0 people on the phone. So if I could take calls off of YouTube, I would. But again, people like to just listen to my monologue for 25 minutes every day, 25 minutes. They hear, I think, the best of me. And now if they have an opinion, I'll take their call on anything other than my social security number and a couple other things. I'll answer anything on what you thought of the play-by-play, the call, the TV. Oh, this is really interesting. This is a good topic for today. I forgot about this. So I got my phone on during the game, and everybody's texting me, where do I find the game? Where do I find the game? Stop. Go to Raiders.com. There's a list. Okay, but TV, this is what freaked fans out. So on television, on NFL Network, you got the home call, which you do, of Paul Allen, who's a great play-by-play voice, but a heavy homer, like I'm a heavy homer for the Raiders. And a lot of Raider fans are like, how do I get Jason Horowitz? How do I get Rich Gannon? How do I get JT The Brick in Lincoln? Wow. I don't know what to tell you, man. I just say go to Raiders.com and find out where we are. You should all know this by now, especially if you're listening to the radio. If you're in Vegas, you have a flagship station, which is okay. But listen, man, how'd you think of this? So yesterday, I'm watching the Olympics, and I look on my phone, and it's Tom Brady. He's calling his first game for Fox. And I tell the wife, I go, oh, we got to watch this. I remember Tony Romo's first ever game. I go, we got to watch this and see how he is. So I turn on NFL Network. Now I get my friend Andrew Siciliano on the Rams broadcast. I can't get Tom Brady. So I tell my wife, no, give me the remote. It's on Fox, Channel 5, right? Let's go to 5. I got an infomercial. Some dermatologist on there on Fox 5. I'm like, wait a second. Where's the Tom Brady game? I want to analyze Tom Brady. I'm like, what's going on, man? Why is it so hard for me to watch sports on TV? You're making me get Peacock. I got to get the MLB app. Then you black out my Yankee games. You black out everything that's played in the Diamondback market, the Angels market, the Padres market. Hey, what's going on, man? Why is it harder to watch a game? I wanted to watch Jason Horowitz, so I can watch that locally. Jason Horowitz, Rich Gannon, and Matt Millen. And I want to listen to me. My wife's able to listen to me call the game. So that's okay. But if you're in Sacramento, other markets, you remember Compass Media. It's all right there at Raiders.com. You can't miss it. How to watch. Raiders even put out tweets on it. Well, it was frustrating to watch some football, man. I guess NFL Network obviously has the rights, and they're playing the local feeds here. But if you're a Raider fan, today I want to know, how'd you watch the game or listen to it? Was it easy or was it difficult? It's a good topic, 702-365-9200. And the point of action for today is, who do you have in the lead to be the quarterback of the Raiders? And you're smart fans. I want detailed phone calls. If you're going to just call in for, a pom-pom contest, don't call me. I like Aiden. I don't care if you like Aiden. I want to know who you believe is the starting quarterback heading in, because Aiden started that game. I'm assuming, don't know, that Gardner's going to start this game at home. They're going to give them both an opportunity to start. So Aiden will probably get the start in the second quarter to work the 2-minute drill and a lot of important things that could be the difference. So let's wake up, because I wake up. You know, I'm not here. I could be in the Hamptons in Long Island. I could be in San Diego golfing with my buddies. I'm here all week. Let's hear from you. 702-365-9200. Want to thank Steve Gomez and the entire team from Modelo. We had a great Modelo meeting today as we open up the show, got some new swag, and we're coming up with something when it comes to Modelo that we'll let you know about here. We're working on something as we get going, as we open up the show. So 702-365-9200 as we begin here. And that's about it. I had a good time in Minneapolis. I hope you had a good time listening to the games. And we'll get going here as we play music out to the breaks. Play music out to the breaks. Then we'll come back with some music. We'll get this thing locked in. JT, as we begin on a Monday on the flagship of the Silver and Black. This is Raider Nation Radio.
It's the morning tailgate.
There's always going to be a running back that breaks a couple of runs there. He needs to be on the team. And when it does come down to those last roster spots, special teams plays the biggest factor in all, because nobody has time for anyone just to be standing there watching a game. If you're a backup to somebody and you can't contribute on special teams, they'll find a backup to somebody that can contribute on special teams, because it's vital now more than ever.
The morning tailgate, weekdays at 7 a.m. on Raider Nation Radio, 920 a.m.
You know, a lot of lawyers who advertise here don't even live here. If they say Nevada, they're not from around here. If they think our capital is Las Vegas, they're not from around here. I'm Richard Harris, and I am from Nevada. I grew up here. I went to school here. I raised my family here. No one knows Nevada like we do. If you've been injured, call me, Richard Harris, of the Richard Harris Law Firm, 444-4444, just in case.
This is JT for Grimaldi's, New York-style coal-fired brick oven pizza that you crave. 4 locations here in the Valley: Summerlin in Boca Park, on the Strip at the Palazzo, Southwest Las Vegas on South Rainbow Boulevard, and Green Valley on Southeastern Avenue.
Treasure Island is the best food and entertainment value on the Las Vegas Strip. Treasure Island offers a variety of dining options, including their newest restaurant, the Las Vegas Yacht Club. Enjoy market fresh catches and delectable seafood options. If you're looking for something more casual, check out the Golden Circle Sports Bar. This bar has a full sports book and is the perfect place to pregame, watch the game, and party after the game. With a great bar menu and 20 high-definition plasmas, you won't miss a moment of the action. Visit Treasure Island, where parking is always free. Must be 21 years or older. Please drink responsibly. Management reserves all rights.
Craving the taste of Port of Subs? Whether you're powering through work or in the middle of a game, get the fast track to flavor with our easy online delivery. Fresh baked bread with premium meats, cheeses, fresh veggie toppings, and savory sauces, and you'll never have to leave your zone. Get the Port of Subs taste you crave. Order online at portofsubs.com or download the Port of Subs app today for easy ordering, more perks, rewards, and freshness at your fingertips.
Fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
If you're struggling with weight and frustrated with dieting each and every year, Mark Patrick Seminars can help. Join the over 500,000 people who have attended Mark Patrick Seminars with great weight loss results. Mark Patrick Seminars will be in Las Vegas on Sunday, September 8th.
After this hypnosis, I learned to eat good food.
Since August, I can honestly say I have not had one potato chip.
It was life-changing for me.
All right, man. So who got a chance to hear me? On the play-by-play, man? I had a good time. There weren't any major screw-ups. I didn't get any numbers wrong, I don't think. Thought the speed was okay. So Willie said he had a watch on his phone. I was awake for one earthquake, knee buckler. Watched the game on Nesson here in northern Nevada.
Attend this program and find out how the power of hypnosis can help you achieve your weight loss goals.
Raul watched on NFL Plus. Fabian, you listened to the broadcast. Thank you. Fabian, were you able to watch Rich Gannon and Jason Horowitz and the great Matt Millen, or no, in the Bay?
Management has been helping Nevada self-insured businesses for over 20 years.
Nevada Sports Network.
Building, agriculture, or auto. Our team has the expertise.
All right, so you had it, Fabian, you had it on Channel 4. Did you have the Vikings feed or the Raider feed?
Fits your budget.
Thank you.
Our award-winning team keeps track of all the important regulatory issues that impact your business. We help with
Raiders. Okay, good. Good.
And inspections, because that's what you should expect from a trusted business partner.
Oh, you know what would be fun? Just play the Tuck Rule play, 22. 0022. Play that if you can at a break. If you can in time.
Las Vegas office at 702-740-4380. Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
We're trying to protect the sorry Chargers market.
The Las Vegas Raiders and the JT The Brick Show. Modelo Especial is a rich, full-flavored Pilsner-style lager, delivering a crisp, refreshing taste.
Hey, man, we got 90 people in this chat, which is nice. Everybody, please hit like and subscribe, please.
Brought to you by PT's, the best happy hour in town, 5 to 7 p.m. and midnight to 2 a.m.
It'll be a 3rd and 1 on their own 43. J.J. McCarthy in the shotgun again, looking right the whole time. Raiders coming off the edge. Ball is out on the field. Raiders recover. Ball is out. Ball is on the ground. Raiders pick it up here.
I'll be interested to see if they call this a forward pass.
Yeah, we'll see if this was a forward pass or not.
JJ's
but the Raiders jumped on that.
Yeah.
Looks like the Raiders say they have the ball.
Yeah.
Play review, the quarterback's arm was moving forward with controlling the ball.
That's the
to the
same.
complete pass.
It took a little longer last time, though.
It
It was a lot colder up in the box.
Are you telling me Minnesota in August has a tuck roll? Are you telling me we saw a tuck roll?
I refuse to repeat it, but
with the sun out here in Minneapolis in a dome?
What are we doing?
All right, so there we go. As we're back here on the flagship of the Silver and Black Raider Nation Radio, that was my tuck rule call. That was my tuck rule call because there was a tuck rule. That was exactly the tuck rule that happened there. Couldn't believe it. It was the tuck rule. Ball going forward. I'm like, oh, and then Lincoln started. That was Eric Allen's last ever game in the NFL was the tuck rule. And Eric Allen was jumping the route. When Brady brought the ball down, it was because Eric Allen jumped the route. Do you all know that? That's a really important moment in Raider history that all Raider fans need to know. Eric Allen snuck to the other sideline as Tom Brady was talking to Charlie Weiss, the offensive coordinator. It was during a blizzard, a snowstorm. They didn't see Eric Allen in his white jersey standing next to the coaches. Eric heard the play. Eric brought the play back. Eric was going to jump the route and end the game with an interception. Brady saw Eric Allen jump the route, pulled the ball back. Tuck rule. That's the tuck rule. You all have to know that story. That's like Raider 101 stuff. You learned that in first grade. What happened to the tuck rule? Why did Brady fumble? Why did he fumble and Beakert, land on the ball and all that? Why? Because Eric Allen was there to break up the play and Brady saw him at the last second. So we had something similar to that. So a couple of people have asked me, who do I think should be the starting quarterback? It's a tough question. I got a little bit of a tough answer to that. Interviewing the coach and the quarterbacks and working for the team, I can't have an opinion on that right now in preseason. I can't. Can't call the game. I can't call the game this Saturday night in the booth and someone on Twitter saying, hey, JT's rooting for Gardner Minshew. Can't happen. And I think you respect that and know that. So I got to sit this one out until they make the decision. Now, during the year last year when the season was going awry, I told you I thought when Jimmy Garoppolo was healthy, he should have went back in and played. In the Minnesota game, that was kind of ballsy. I don't hear anybody else say that other than me. But we found out through Devontae and the Netflix series, Devontae and a lot of the players wanted to see Aiden play. I'm good with that. Antonio Pierce, loyal to Aiden O'Connell because he helped him get the job, winning 5 games. A pretty good record the Raiders had down the stretch. Okay, then one other thing I want to get to very lightly. I'll tease ahead on this. So I knew that Bo Nix, if he played well, that the bandwagon would begin today with a certain show, which it did. And here we go. Here we go, as predicted. Bo Nix played reasonably well, so did J.J. McCarthy. And now Bo Nix is going to take the Broncos to the Super Bowl. You didn't see that one coming, everybody? You went to bed last night, you knew a certain show or two were going to be on the Bo Nix going to the AFC playoffs. Didn't Gardner Minshew and Aiden played well? It'd be fair and balanced, or not that we need that. I'm not fair and balanced. But what would be nice for the Raider haters? Every once in a while to say, hey, Bo Nix played really good and J.J. McCarthy played really good. And those guys are probably going to start sooner than later. But, hey, by the way, before I get out to the phone calls, Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell played pretty well. None of that. We don't get any of that in the Raider Nation. Anywhere, anytime, nobody other than maybe Rich Eisen will say that. Thought Gardner Minshew played pretty well. Thought he played pretty well overall. And when you play pretty well overall, and Aiden played really well, my opinion on who should start. If you want to have a mobile quarterback, it's Gardner. If you want to have a strong arm pocket passer, it's Aiden. My only concern in the first 2 weeks is Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, and then the Ravens defense on the road for their home opener. I edge to a little bit of experience on that. All right, Mitchell is in Henderson as we open up the show. Mitchell, what's happening? Michael,
JT.
is that Michael? Michael and Henderson. Go ahead. What's happening, buddy?
JT, how you doing? I love the call on the game. I love your enthusiasm. I love the your day. That was amazing. Your enthusiasm is over. It's awesome.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I like the story of
Michael, I got to let you go. Michael, if you want to call back later in a better spot, we got to let you go. Your phone's breaking up the whole call. So let's get Michael down, and hopefully we get him on a better phone line coming up here. You know, as my wife knows this, I wait around all week to do this show. My wife literally kicks me out of the house. Get out of the house. Go to work. You're pacing. I want the show to be great. The calls, everything. So get to a good phone line. Landlines are encouraged, but we know we live in a world of cell phones and streaming. Robert in Portland is listening on the Raiders mobile app. Robert, what's happening today? Welcome to Monday.
Yeah, great job, JT, on that. I just love that you guys having fun like that. Hey, I really I look at the first game. The Chargers are coming up. They got Slater back at left tackle. They got all the new guy at right tackle. I think it's going to be one of those ground and pound games on both sides of the ball. I think the best thing to do for now is to just concentrate on how well the offensive line looks. And if we have some sibs, and it might be due to injuries or whatever, JT, I think we need to be clear on one thing. We've got a 225-pound, 6'1" mobile quarterback, and that guy is there for one reason, and that's because you got to realize it's a long season. So I'm going to stay with the second-year kid, and then I'm going to see what happens. But my gut tells me the first game's going to be one of those ground and pound games, and it'll be a little bit of a war.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it, Robert. I think that's what a lot of people are predicting. A lot of people are predicting now. I got gambling buddies who are taking the under in that game as the line has been set, and they think it's going to be a grounded, use the clock. And I think the Raiders have the advantage with Zamir White. In fact, if the game turns into that, and Justin Herbert's in a boot, and he's not practicing with the ones and twos. He's not practicing. He's at practice and film study and all that, but he's not out there because of a foot injury. That should be ready for week one. And if it is ready for week one, good. I want to see the Chargers quarterback play. Now, a lot of Raider fans I don't want to see him play. I hope he's hurt. I can't go down that slippery slope. I want to see everybody at full strength. If someone's injured and out for the year or injured for 6 games, I'll hype that up. If I don't want to see anybody hurt because that's bad karma for our guys to get hurt. But Herbert's getting no work in on the field. So you would think Jim Harbaugh is going to want to run it a little bit more. You would think. And the Raiders have Christian Wilkins and John Jenkins and Robert Spillane hopefully clogging up the middle and tackling well. The big criticism for the Raiders in the second half of that game was that the defensive line basically was Swiss cheese. They were just running the ball and running right at the Raiders and running plays that the Raiders couldn't stop. So the depth, I think Vic Tafer might have tweeted it out. I'll find it. The depth of the Raider defense did not look good in Minneapolis. The starters looked okay. But Devonshire, when you look at what they want to do with some of these cornerbacks on the outside, they got beat a bunch of times. I think the safety play was okay overall, but we want to see some good defense here to wrap up the preseason. They're not playing a joint practice with another team. Oh, that was interesting, too. The 49ers canceled their joint practice with the Saints this week. That's a big deal. The Saints are in Orange County staying at the V, one of the nicest properties in the world. It's that nice. And they need some teams to practice against. And the Niners just canceled on them because the Niners are banged up. Raiders did not schedule a joint practice. I do not know why. But probably it's good for the Raiders now because they haven't had Colt Miller and Jackson Powers-Johnson, and Devontae was gone. Congratulations to Devontae and his wife on the birth of their son. Perfect timing for Devontae. Perfect timing. His son was born, which is a blessing. He wrapped up Costa Mesa a little bit early, didn't miss much, and now he's back with the team. That's a big story for Devontae. All the best. JT in Salt Lake City, as we remain on the app. What's happening?
Hey, well, I heard you talking about hard times watching the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to NFL Network. It's scheduled, but it's blacked out because it's local.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to my local station, and it has lacrosse on. Salt Lake City playing Denver.
Oh.
It took me. I missed Aiden O'Connell's entire drive. It took me a minute before I went to another app that I could, stream the game, watch some commercials, and stream the game.
Mm-hmm.
But that was but I ended up getting it, so that was great. But it was all Vikings announcers.
Right.
They talked to Justin Jefferson for almost the whole third quarter, I think.
Yeah, it's good programming from them to be able to get Justin Jefferson the entire quarter. That's a big coup for them to be able to have one of the best players in the league do some play-by-play. So, and the Vikings that's a home game. They got the home game, and it was easy for them to do that with Paul Allen. But, yeah, so you're one of the guys, JT, that we're talking about who couldn't get the game. You had to get the Minnesota feed. And in 2024, that's a problem that you're not able to get whatever you want, whenever you want on demand.
Yep. Yeah, I have the stations. They both the guides say it's going to be on.
Oh, the old guide,
So,
the guide. Well,
yeah,
thanks for the
it was
call.
terrible.
Appreciate you giving me an update on that. I do really good radio when I can rip on broadcasts. I can do good stuff with that. When mostly what I rip on is not the announcers. The announcers are pretty good. They're professionals, man. Joe Buck was great, not good. Jim Nance is great, not good. I wanted to hear Tom Brady. I wasn't able to. I was watching the Olympics with my wife. I would much rather have watched Brady for a few minutes just to hear his cadence, his sound, replay, and all that. Wasn't able to do it. So that's part of this. 702-365-9200. Raider Dave joins the broadcast. Good to hear from you, Dave. Thanks for checking in.
Hey, thank you. I went to my local establishment here in Colorado Springs where I've got a Raider Booster Club that goes all last year. We're going to go again. But I got the NFL Network, and I was bummed that it was Minnesota, but I thought the Minnesota announcers, but I thought, like in some years past, at least I thought, that it would be one set of announcers for one team, one half, and then the other set, the other half. So I stuck around to watch everybody in the second half, hoping to hear you and the gang, and it just didn't happen. So that was disappointing. I guess that they don't do that anymore or whatever. But I do want to say that I'm a little curious about how much the Raiders are thinking that, meeting the Chargers last year. Yes, it's a different coaching staff there and a different OC here, but they already have a bunch of tape on AOC. Obviously, AOC is the guy that could get the ball into tight windows, and if it's going to be a run-oriented game more so, I just don't know that RPOs are part of Getsy's deal. Maybe it is, but I really think that it's still, AOC's to lose and Minshew's to gain. It's going to be interesting to see if the number twos with Dallas are as good or not as good as the number twos with Minnesota. I was impressed with the way that Minshew did throw some long balls and get them over the top of people's heads. I think, the one to Tucker was a little bit overthrown, but Tucker made a great effort to get it. And then the touchdown in the right corner of the end zone was really perfectly played. So all that stuff was excellent. I was really impressed with AOC's movement in the pocket. I didn't think he had an opportunity or a need to really run like Minshew did. And of course, it's not his game, but going 7 for 9 and only having one drive, which it was like 12, 14 plays or whatever, I really thought it showed a lot of moxie. And I'm really interested in seeing him start, mostly because of his communication and the path that he has with the center. I think having the right calls and the right communications with the offensive line is just going to be paramount. And I can't wait to talk the rest of the week with you, Ben. Excellent job. Congrats to DA. We certainly would look a lot better with the whole left side of the line being in there, but we can look forward to that next week.
All right. Thanks a lot for the phone call. Appreciate it. Very good phone call. So let's go, and we'll come back, Jess, for the top of the hour segment here momentarily. When we come back, we'll dive into more of your phone calls about this. That call was fantastic because he makes a good point. AOC, why did I say AOC? I'll try never to do that again. I'll try never to do that again. Aiden is really good when he has time, and he played well. It would be a shame for him if he loses the job after going 7 for 9, right? He played pretty good. He didn't do anything to lose the job. Gardner did a couple other things with his legs that might help him win the job. Hey, shout out to the chat on YouTube. We got 100 people in there for most of the show so far, and we really appreciate that. This school year, let Canes host your next fundraiser and receive 15% off net sales back when customer mentions the group. Earn extra credit with fundraising this year and enjoy some hand-battered chicken fingers with Raising Canes. Visit canesandcommunity.com to learn more. Raising Canes Chicken Fingers, proud partner of Raider Nation Radio, One Love. You got this.
It's unnecessary roughness.
It's a long season. It's tough to do it, but this is the best Raider defense I think I've ever witnessed. I mean, seriously, as a Raider fan, I don't think I've seen a Raider defense better than this. I don't go back that far, but I think this is the one. Lincoln Kennedy, who joined us last week, he's been with the team since 95. He hasn't seen a defense that's good. And he played for the team. 95, I was 1 year removed from high school that year. So I feel pretty comfortable saying I ain't seen a defense that's good ever.
Don't miss Unnecessary Roughness, weekdays at 2 on Raider Nation Radio, 920
We're going to get
AM.
the guys coaching the Little League World Series.
When life speeds up, Canes has you covered. This school year, choose Raising Canes as your after-school destination with hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crinkle-cut fries, fresh coleslaw, the buttery Texas toast, and their craveable cane sauce, the best sauce. When life speeds up, order online at RaisingCanes.com or through their mobile app. Raising Canes as your after-school destination. Raising Canes Chicken Fingers, One Love.
Your neighbor Judy loves Vegas in the spring, but she hates the paint, so she called Rhino Shield.
The help that Rhino Shield did for my husband and I, after having the house painted with unusual house paint, I was seeing cracks appearing about every 3 years and just wasn't very satisfied with that.
Rhino Shield ceramic technology is formulated for our climate right here in Las Vegas.
I can't speak highly enough about the Rhino Shield crew. They also were great at working with me to get the
Yeah, just tell him we're going to get him up right after the break in 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay. So then I'll just keep this for here.
Yep. Yeah, so the chat, I'm a little bit busy today. We're going to get on Adam Johnson.
Hey, Adam, can you hear me?
Is he there?
Shane Smith. This offer is limited, so call
Adam,
me
can you
at
hear me?
888 Rhino 41. That's 888 Rhino 41. Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
Can you just pick him up on hold?
Personal injury law has been the same for a long time. We've had enough. Welcome to
Hey, Adam.
Salmon Ash, the new standard
All right,
for
we're
personal
gonna
injury law,
come back
where things are
in
done
about
the right
2.
way. Because you deserve a team that delivers real support and results. When you have both, your whole world can change. So if you've been hurt in a crash, call Salmon Ash, 702-303-0333. Salmon Ash, because you deserve what's right.
There's a new way to get to the game, M-Ride.
Okay, so, yeah, I'm going to talk. The coach from the Raiders is coaching that Little League team to the World Series is going to join us for a few minutes. Okay, so for this one,
Sitting in traffic or waiting in long taxi or rideshare lines, M-Ride it, and you'll get in and out quickly. Reserve your ride at mridelv.com. Use promo code BRICK. That's mridelv.com, promo code BRICK.
Brand live Ford, pay less and get more. Yes! Hurry down to Friendly Ford's summer sales event. Get financing as low as 0% for 72 months, or savings as much as $15,000 off on a huge selection of trucks.
All right, I need everybody to subscribe. You got to subscribe. It's pretty easy to do, and hit like. But keep that going. We got a nice crew in here today. Yeah, Steph Curry. I'm going to get to that, Raul. He was amazing.
If you need to sell your house,
talk to Aaron Taylor.
You want to sell it fast and get the most cash, talk to Aaron Taylor.
The real estate guy.
Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy here. Do you know where?
Yeah, I don't root for Curry much either, but I root for America more. So, Raider Ryan, what's up, brother?
Residential and commercial properties. And we're just getting started. We offer 3 incredible solutions for our sellers to maximize their profits.
Watts Raider said we should be more prepared for Dallas. Well, that means what? The backups, you're saying?
We handle all repairs repairs and improvements up front to ensure you get the most money possible for your home. And third, you decide the commission you pay, as low as $1. Plus, we'll even buy your home for cash if that's what you need. Don't just take our word for it.
East Oakland Zay here in Oakland. You got the game on Channel 4 with the Raider broadcast. Nice.
That's 702-310-6683. EXP Realty, license number 3.
All right, we back here?
Yeah.
Okay.
The real estate guy. Welcome back to the JT The Brick Show. Brought to you by Comisario Tequila, the official tequila of the JT The Brick Show.
JT, back with you. I am thrilled for this conversation. Adam Johnson joins us. He led his Little League team to the Little League World Series. This is an amazing story. Paseo Verde Little League is now in the Little League World Series. I've known this man for a long time. My brother, good to hear from you. Congratulations. What a great story. How's the team looking?
Thanks, JT. Yeah, I mean, team is excited. It's definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience to see these kids treated like, royalty. We were talking today, and, there's 10 U.S. teams left, 12 kids on each team. So started, with 5,000 All-Stars in June, and to know that these 12 are one of the last 120 is a pretty special moment for all of us as coaches and parents alike.
I know you're not going to let me talk a lot about you because I know how much you love and care for these kids, but a lot of people are finding out. Paul Gutierrez wrote about it, and the way you travel with the team from Costa Mesa back and forth, and now to have some time off to do this. I mean, this is a passion of yours, even though your job is also a big priority. How you been handling it?
Yeah, first and foremost, I would be remiss not to thank Mr. Davis and the Raider family. I've been an employee there a long time, and even the thought of, being a Raider to me every time I put the shield on gives me pride, and to know that they're supporting this. And this is something that, 4 years ago, this team got together, and, you joke about it, talk about it, but you see the work these boys have put in, and, to have the blessing from the Raiders to be here and coach this team, and know that, Coach Pierce and Mr. Davis and Tom Telesco, and especially my equipment room friends, there's a lot of laundry, a lot of stuff getting done without me right now. And it's hard not to think about those, but also every time I walk out the door and you see Lombardi Stadium, and this is little kid paradise for baseball. So it's definitely nice to have the support of the Raiders, and this is our busy season, and to have it go outside, this is a passion of mine, and volunteering and Little League in general, I think is special. So it's very neat to be here. And like I said, without the support of the Raider organization, I definitely wouldn't be here. And I'm eternally grateful. My fans, they've always taken care of families. And that's one thing that this organization does, in my opinion, better than the rest. There's 31 teams, and then there's the Raiders, and the way they take care of their employees, their fans, every part of Raider Nation is second to none.
Adam Johnson joins us as he takes his team to the Little League World Series. And to do it with a no-hitter, what's that all about? What's going on? Hold on. What's going on for you in the third and fourth? Because you've seen a lot of Little League and all-star and club ball teams get to the third or fourth inning with a no-hitter. That's not rare, but then all of a sudden you're playing on television. Walk me through the dugout and the reaction.
Yeah, it was neat. We definitely dropped our first game, and we felt as coaches, the hardest part of the coach is when you see your team not be themselves and make mistakes. And, we felt like if we got back to Friday, that when we got to Wyatt, that Wyatt would give us as good a chance as anyone. We felt coming into it that he was the best pitcher in the whole region. And, Utah, I think, scored 30-something runs in 2 games, and I think they were confident, and we were equally as confident in Wyatt. And we know these boys are prepared and can play defense with the best of them. And honestly, JT, the craziest part is when we played in the state championship game, we played Reno and we run ruled them, but he threw a no-hitter in that game. And then so you realize that's 4 innings, and you go to the ESPN TV, and, they hit a couple balls hard, definitely in the first inning. But, I saw at one point he looked over his shoulder, and I looked over his shoulder, and he had a comebacker the very first play of the game. They ruled it in air. Probably the only time in his life he would have liked that rule in air over a hit. But, he's dominant. He's confident, and he really trusts his catcher. He trusts Parker Soranaka back there to block breaking balls in the dirt with 2 strikes, and to really, he challenges guys because he knows we'll play great defense behind him. But to be there and see a no-hitter and understand the levity of, all the sporting games and all, like to your point, you see it during the regular season, but to know that that's the best team in Utah, and, offensively they were the best team in our region, and to watch him go out and just be who the kid we knew he was really special.
Last quick one. What can we do here? Tell us about the schedule, TV, when you're playing, travel, all this. What's it look like here?
Yeah, so we, it's neat. These boys won Friday night, and then they were on a charter flight with the team from the mountain or from the west, which is Maui, Hawaii, and the team from the northwest, which is from Washington. And they put 49 kids on a charter flight, fly straight to Pennsylvania. So that's a treat within itself. Our first game is on Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, so 12 p.m. back in Vegas. We just did a coin flip, so we're the home team.
Wow.
And everyone's bringing out families and friends, and all we ask is that the biggest thing for me is support these kids, understand that, they are kids, and they're going to go out and show the best that they can for the community. Paseo Verde Little League has been supportive of us and these players. It's a great place to play Little League. If anyone's looking to donate, they can always donate there. But the biggest thing is screaming at your TV, watching the games, letting them know that you're behind them, because we definitely feel it all the way out here across the country.
Thanks, my friend. I'm proud of you. I can't wait to see you take as long as you want. Win this thing, and we'll see you back in Vegas.
That's the plan, JT. Thanks. And like I said, 31 teams in Raider Nation, baby.
You're the best. Adam Johnson. How about that story? What a Raiders story. We'll be back with hour number 2 next.
NASCAR is on the air from Michigan as it's the Firekeepers Casino 400 from the Michigan International Speedway. Listen in Sunday starting at 10:30 on 12:30.
All right, that hour went fast.
Brought to you by Finley Toyota. We're here for you. Attention plumbers, HVAC, DIYers, and construction pros. McFadden-Dale Industrial Hardware has everything you need for your next project. Open early at South Decatur and Russell. McFadden-Dale Industrial Hardware, your one-stop shop to get the job done. McFadden-Dale Industrial Hardware. Get in, get out, and get to work.
Every now and then life happens, and you or a family member need an outstanding criminal attorney. I'm Tony Abitangelo, and we are the Vegas Lawyers. Whether you need representation for DUI, domestic violence, record sealing, or any other criminal charge, we are here to help. The Vegas Lawyers' background of former judges and vast experience with the Nevada criminal system gives you skilled representation.
The Vegas Lawyers, a division of Paul Pata Law, where compassion and strong legal representation come together. Go to thevegaslawyers.com.
Hi, sports fans, it's the Herd. In sports, we often talk about a difference maker. Well, in business, there are difference makers as well. Ford Country in the Valley Auto Mall is one of them. With every new
All right, so you have the open-in for hour number 2, Jess? Good.
Free dent, scratch, and windshield repair, and key replacement for a full year. In addition to great service.
We're going to go with Harry Ruiz. I'm going to ask him what time works better, so hold on.
In the Valley Auto Mall. Check them out online at FordCountryHenderson.com.
This is JT for Grimaldi's Pizzeria, that famous New York-style coal-fired brick oven pizza that you crave. 4 locations in the Valley, Boca Park in Summerlin, on the Strip at the Palazzo, Southwest Las Vegas on South Rainbow, and in Green Valley. On
Little League Baseball, the fabric of America. Yeah, it's a really good story. Adam, I've known for a long time. I think he's been with the Raiders, I want to say 20 years, I think. He's been there a long time. And for him to be able to do a great job for the Raiders and on top of that come out and coach a Little League team to the World Series, that's pretty great.
For your share of $6 million guaranteed. Quarterly and full season payouts. Enter Nevada. Play from anywhere. Visit circusports.com for details.
Tequila Comisario was developed in the
relentless
pursuit of perfection with a deep passion for agave.
Yeah, we're going to do it. We got those calls still on hold, Jess? Yeah, reset them. Do me a favor. Get the show up and running. Get the show up and running and then go reset them.
100% all natural handcrafted Comisario tequilas.
We're going to do Harry Ruiz at 120.
Tequila Comisario, a proud partner of the JT The Brick Show.
Hey, Jeff. How's
You have Harry's number?
No.
I'll give it to you.
Terrible boss and the paycheck is even worse. I gotta get a new job.
Truck you.
Wait, what?
Truck you.
You don't have to curse at me.
Dude, you should check out Truck You CDL training. My brother got his CDL license in 4 weeks, and now he has a new career making great money.
Okay, I'm listening.
Truck You offers small classes with night and weekend times available. They will even help with payment programs. Check them out. Truck, the letter U, LV.com. Truck You. This song doesn't have a name, but if it did, it'd probably be something about...
Yeah, the women almost lost that game. You know why the women won the Olympic gold medal? Because the coach was so stupid on France. He let all those girls shoot threes. I think they were 0 for 11 at one point, 0 for 11. I mean, in the fourth quarter. I mean, and the same thing, the United States, our men, we got by Nikola Jokic in Serbia because they were chucking threes.
Wake up with the morning tailgate with Clay Baker. Weekday mornings from 7
Don't be an idiot, Art, if you hear a number or not. What does that mean? You're going to go call the person's number?
Las Vegas.
Welcome back to the JT The Brick Show, brought to you by Modelo Especial, the new #1 beer in the U.S.
It's time for JT The Brick.
Let's go. Let's pick up the pace. There are high expectations for this team. The Raiders have an established offensive line. You might not love it, but Colt Miller, Dylan Parham, Andre James, we got some big dudes today. Who's going to start that first game? Aiden O'Connell, 1. Gardner Minshew, 2. I want the ball out. I want the ball out quickly. I want slants. Will the ball get out? 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi out.
JT The Brick.
And in the last regime, we took too much time in between plays for no apparent reason. We got to get Brock Bowers the ball all the time. He is a gift from the sports gods handed to us in Vegas. If Bowers comes in with 73 receptions and 11 touchdowns or 9 touchdowns, that changes everything. If I'm wrong, you know where to find me.
And now,
Get him the ball.
here's JT The Brick.
All right, JT, back with you as we continue on. Hour number 2. Jess is in for Bobby today. Bobby will be back soon. We're brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. It's America's original craft vodka. It's one of America's great success stories. It truly is. Tito, come on. Distilled on the same land where it all started in Austin, Texas. Tito's is made from corn and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka makes the good stuff for good times. It's my go-to vodka. Make Tito's your go-to vodka. Find cocktail recipes, videos, and more at titosvodka.com. How about that? We're excited to have them. We also welcome back Virgin this week. We'll tell you about that. The President Cliff is going to join us here later on in the week. I got a busy week. There's a practice, a camp over at Raiders camp tomorrow. I'm there being on the sideline for the stadium practice coming up this week. And everything will be pretty good. We're going to have a lot of content for you, and we'll see what happens down the road. So if you're a Raider fan, jump on in. Today's show is pretty simple. Antonio Pierce on the Sunday press conference, he did a Zoom instead of being at the podium. And on the Zoom call, which I watched, he was asked by when he's going to make a decision. When's he going to make a decision on the quarterback? And he said, hopefully after the game coming up here. So the game that's coming up here is going to be pretty important for that. Now, if say Aiden throws an interception and Gardner throws 2, I don't know what to tell you. They're going to pick the quarterback. I don't think they're going to pick the quarterback who has the best game. It's the entire body of work. As I said, a Gardner Minshew run, or maybe Aiden O'Connell runs up the middle for 12 yards and a first down. That could win him the job. I don't know. This is why Luke Getsy was brought in. That's why Tom Telesco's here. Joe Philbin, former head coach, Marvin Lewis, Tom Coughlin, a consultant for the Raiders. They're going to have to make this decision. Harry Ruiz, the Latino voice of the Silver and Black, going to join us in about 20 minutes. So if you want to get through right now, 702-365-9200. Who do you have in the lead? I don't talk politics on this show. From time to time, I'll throw out something mainstream politically on Twitter, and that just gets me to block a bunch of dopes and idiots. You can't even say anything in society today about the market. You can't say anything about anything. I want to buy a car. Well, you can't buy a car under this administration. Wait till the people are whacked right now, whacked out of their minds with politics. So I just block. I'm done giving people a second chance. You can't go on my Twitter feed or anything and just have a conversation like an adult. You get blocked into obscurity and you disappear forever and you don't live. You don't live in my world. I'll tell you that. You're gone. You're gone. People, oh, JT, what? Stop. I tweet out something about the Olympics. Oh, my God, the Olympics. I won't watch the Olympics. Did you open ceremonies? Brittany Griner, you idiot. You absolute idiot. And we live in Nevada. All we get are political ads now. My wife said, turn it off. Just let's go to Netflix, man. Let's go. We'll stick to sports here. Sports. Sports is fun. Imagine if I had to talk politics for a living. Ooh. Ooh. Especially here in Nevada. Ooh. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. So busy week with the Raiders. The Olympics were great. And what happened yesterday when they showed us L.A. with Red Hot Chili Peppers, Snoop and Dre. Pretty interesting topic was, and Jess, I don't know if you agree with this, was Snoop Dogg overexposed? Supposedly he made 500, how much did he make a day? 500,000 a day. $500,000 a day. He was everywhere as a fan, in studio. So, Jess, you watch it. You think there was a little too much Snoop Dogg? I mean, I like Snoop, man, but come on. Martha Stewart, this or that. Did you like all the Snoop coverage? Because he's going to be a big part. He set the tone for L.A. coming up.
I mean, he is part of culture as a whole. He's always around, and it's almost like if he's not around, you were wondering where he is, because that's how much around he is.
I would agree with you. He was everywhere. So they ended up doing the Tom Cruise thing, if you didn't see it. We had a breakfast meeting this morning, and two of the gentlemen I was with didn't see it. I said, what? Tom Cruise from the top of the stadium? Tom Cruise rappels down his own stunt, puts the Olympic flag in his motorcycle like Maverick, takes off. Now, at that point, it was live until they went onto the streets of Paris. Then they went to some taping, which was recent. And he skydived out of a cargo military plane. That was real. Then he lands. He's on the Hollywood sign, putting up the rings. That was real. That wasn't live. But then they picked it up live, and the skateboarder took it into the beach area. I think that was Long Beach. Was that the LBC? I think they were in Long Beach, and they put on that concert. Quick idea with this, with the Olympics in LA. I didn't think it would work to the point where it's not going to be Paris. Paris is gorgeous. It's a beautiful city. LA is not. Okay? LA has beautiful beaches, Malibu, Laguna, Orange County. I was just there. It's incredible. Okay? The inner parts of LA is not beautiful. The inner parts of the city of Paris are gorgeous. Okay? That's not LA. So I don't know how LA is going to pull this off. But they're going to have busing now. They're telling me busing is going to be the answer? Woo! So I think the only way the Olympics is going to be great in LA is everyone in LA has to leave. It's the only way it's going to work. Anybody who's smart and lives in LA, Airbnb your house, get out. Just leave, unless you want to go to the games, which some people will. But I don't know how it's going to fit and go up against Paris until I watched the ceremony yesterday on the beach in LA with Tom Cruise and the Chili Peppers and Billie Eilish and Dre. I said, man, they're all in. So it's going to be Hollywood, AI, and all that. I enjoyed the Olympics. I wish it didn't stop. I could have watched it. Steph Curry bailed out America. I think America would have won, but Steph was just fantastic. He made all threes in the game. Some people are complaining that Steph didn't win the MVP. LeBron was better beginning to the end. Steph was better in the last two games. You could have gave Steph Curry the MVP. LeBron won it. So LeBron and the members of that team, the women won, and Mark Davis had several players who are now gold medal Olympians. Kelsey Plum was clutch from the aces, man, on the free throw line. Asia was fantastic. She's the best player in the world. For all the women who won that gold medal against France, and they threw up a late 2 that could have been a 3, and they ended up winning, so that was a lot of fun to watch. So if you have anything on the Olympics, let us know. But for today, we're going to go through some of the highlights again. I was honored to be on the call with Lincoln and Eric. Really happy about that. And then we'll jump in with your opinion all week long on who the quarterback should be. I have to sit this one out. I'm calling the game. I can't say I want this, I want that. That's not professional. I won't do it. But when they name the starter, it's going to be easy for me to get behind both of them, whoever they name. I mean, Aiden is a swashbuckling Raider, and Gardner is a long-haired swashbuckling Raider. I want either one of them to do well. The answer is kind of the company line, but it fits here. I want to see the best guy who can win. I want to win games. I got to sit in this seat all year. I don't want to sit in this seat 1-5, 2-6. I want to sit in this seat 4-2, 5-1. I want to see this team win. And I think they have a defense that can help them win any game they have. Any game they have, I think they can win. So let's hear from you. 702-365-9200. Harry Ruiz in about 6-7 minutes. AJ, thanks for waiting. You're up next on the flagship. What's happening?
Hey, JT, how you doing today?
Doing well, thanks.
Good. So I think it's Aiden at this point. I'm very confident in him. The reason why I'm confident in him, obviously he started with his heels in the end zone, went all the way down the field, was able to get in range, They played it a little bit cute, I thought, in the end. I thought they could have worked the run a little bit in the red zone there. Trey got kind of blocked there when he was trying to do that little fade. But I think the reason why I was very confident in Aiden watching the preseason is you could tell he worked on moving in the pocket. And that was a big problem that he had last week. Obviously, he got sacked by Dallas Turner, almost got hit a time before that. But he definitely did move around. And not only that, but in the offseason, they were saying that he's being more vocal. In Costa Mesa, he was talking a lot. He was talking a lot and being more vocal. I think that's really big. Nothing against Gardner. I'm with you. If he's our starter, I'll be happy. I think he has a lot that what it can take. But we got some guys on our team. We got Devontae. We got Jacoby. We got Trey. We got Brock Bowers and Big Mike. In my opinion, the two best young tight ends in the league. With Brock, we moved him. We had him as the X. We had him as the Z. We had him in the backfield. And that's in a vanilla type of a preseason offense where we're kind of hiding our hand a little bit. So you can only imagine what Getsy has in store for him. Either one of these quarterbacks focus on the tight ends, and they're gonna do great for us. But I did see a little bit in Aiden of him moving in the pocket that I really liked. So that's what I like, and that's what I think that is going to drive him to be our starter going into the season.
Okay, appreciate it. Appreciate your call. Thank you. The issue behind this is simple, and it's for real Raider fans to pull this onion back. If the season starts off and a quarterback loses the first two games, which I'm not assuming is going to happen, there's a theory behind this. Whatever quarterback starts, if he plays well, he's clearly going to keep his job. Clearly. You go 1-1 in these first two games, you're the quarterback. Then you got Carolina coming in, and Carolina's improved. They're not a cupcake. They were a cupcake last year. If we had Carolina's last year team this year, but they're going to be better. So once you go to the bench or go to a backup quarterback, you're going to probably stick with that backup quarterback, the second choice, for a while. So that's what makes this very complicated for me. Because if you wanted to start Gardner off against Khalil Mack and Bosa and the Ravens, as of today, I think he obviously has more experience, clearly more experience. So maybe you want Gardner for the first two games. If you throw in Aiden and Aiden went 0-2, and then you benched Aiden for Gardner, which would be the right thing to do if a team started out 0-2. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Then you go with that guy for the rest of the season or the next couple of games. So it's going to be a tough decision. It's going to be dicey in the beginning of the year, everybody. I'm not making this up. You know it. I just said it. These games are tough. The first two games, the Harbaugh brothers on the road. I'm treating week one like the Super Bowl. You hear me? I'm treating it like the Super Bowl. I'm not going to treat week 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 11. Week one, I am. I'm all in on week one. So whoever the team believes, the coaching staff believes, give the Raiders the best chance to win week one. I'm all for that. All for that, as we're about to call Harry Ruiz and get him up here on the radio and get rolling here because he's calling the games on the Spanish side. So I want to see this team win. Who gives them a better shot? Well, Aiden got sacked 6 times by Khalil Mack. He did. I don't think he'll get sacked 6 times again the rest of his life by one player in a game. But we're going to see. We're going to have to see what happens. Who moves better? This pass rush, we're assuming Colt Miller is going to be back. Now, 2 weeks ago, I would have assumed Jackson Powers-Johnson would be back and be the starter. I can't assume this now. He didn't play a snap in camp, and he hasn't played in the preseason. And I don't think he's going to play this preseason game, most likely, unless we hear something else. So how are you going to throw the kid out from Oregon in week one? How are you going to throw him out against the Chargers if you haven't played a snap? That's going to be really hard to do. So with all this here, there's some big decisions coming up. The coaches get paid a lot of money to make these decisions, and it will be well vetted and thought out, and we'll see how it plays out. Harry Ruiz joins us, the Latino voice of the Raiders, filled in for me a couple of times last week as we traveled. Harry, how'd you see it so far? A quarterback battle is going to be a big topic for you and I and everybody on the channel. Who do you think has the lead as we enter this week against the Cowboys?
What's up, JT? Always a pleasure joining you, brother. I mean, it's a tight competition. Both of the quarterbacks showed what makes them unique. You saw Nate O'Connell, who was controlled, poised in the pocket, who took advantage of his opportunities, who took advantage of being on the field at the same time with guys like Brock Myers, like Michael Mayer, like Jacoby Myers, who you know he's going to be a big weapon this year. Took the team down to the field, but then you saw that red zone situation. A sack on 3rd and goal, that can't be happening. Raiders went for 3. I liked how that drive went. I didn't like how it finished. You look over at Gardner Minshew, and you see the gunslinger, the guy that loves taking opportunities and going down the field. He was able to get a couple of big plays that ended up taking the Raiders into the end zone a couple of times, taking advantage also of Jack Jones' interception, but not as effective, 6 out of 12 when it comes to his pass attempts. So you see, and both quarterbacks have different weapons, and they give the Raiders a variety and a real competition in that position, and not just going to be like, okay, we're going with this guy. No, it's a real competition what's going down right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. Everything you just said. It's a real competition. Competitions turn into controversies if someone doesn't win the competition, and that sounds like it's going to happen coming into this game. I thought Brock Bowers played well. He got a couple of looks and made his catches. Same with Michael Mayer. Michael Mayer, I want to give him more targets this year, but we talked about Trey Tucker and his ability now to take the next step and be that deep threat. Devontae wasn't playing in the game. Jacoby can run a deep route, but he's more over the middle of the field. Nice job by Trey Tucker in that first game in Minneapolis.
Absolutely, and he's a speedster. He's a guy that's going to give you that threat where the moment that he takes off, he's going to beat the cornerback and just throw the ball down the field and make sure that he's in a good position to catch the ball, put it in his radius, and he'll make that grab. This year is going to be huge for him, especially now after what happened with Michael Gallup retirement, with Jalen Guyton not getting as much time on the field. You've got this guy right now as your number 3 wide receiver, and he has to capitalize on it. He's going to get playing time now with the Raiders going with 12 personnel heavily. I love the way that they use Brock Bowers, by the way. We're seeing him both on the inside, on the outside, at the slot. You saw him move all around, and Michael Mayer a little bit more traditional. So you know those two guys are going to get a lot of playing time. Now it's going to be Tay, Kobe, and Trey Tucker who are going to be the wide receivers that the Raiders are going to rely on heavily. And with Tay and Kobe don't get those touches, it's going to be Trey, the one that's going to be getting them. So it's going to be a huge year for him.
Harry Ruiz is our guest, the Latino voice of the Raiders. He does a lot more than that. You hear him on Raider Nation Radio, his other platforms too. We appreciate having him on here. So for the defensive side, I thought the defensive ones overall did pretty well. I thought the depth of the Raider defense got chewed up at times in the game here. So when I look at this team defensively, you know, the strength of the ones being out there, a Jack Jones interception here, a couple of balls batted down. What do you think of the defense?
Ja'Cory Bennett came through big time, and that's what you want. You want a guy that everybody was asking, who's going to be that third cornerback out there on the field? Is it going to be Brandon Faison, who hasn't been healthy, or is it going to be Ja'Cory Bennett? And the second-year player out of Maryland showed that he had the capacity of getting a big-time pass deflection, breaking a pass on 4th and goal, and giving the Raiders the ball back without allowing a point. So that was huge on him. I really like both Amaris. Gaynor really showed out what he can do on the field. Bernie as well. So keep your eyes on those guys with the 3s and 4s in the second half in this upcoming game on Saturday. And overall, JT, I know that a lot of folks in the Raider Nation thought it was controversial when J.J. McCarthy said last week that he was going to be facing a vanilla defense. But on Friday, I said, folks, he's not talking about the Raiders defense. He's talking about the overall defenses around the league in preseason. You know that Patrick Graham isn't going to be giving any exotic looks when it comes to defense in the preseason. And you're just going to get a lot of man coverage, some zone, and not a lot of pressure, a lot of blitzes when it comes to preseason. So we can't make a lot out of it. I like what I saw from the 1s, from the 2s, but then everybody was just trying to get home healthy in the second half.
Harry Ruiz, as we wrap it up. Hey, Harry, so I'm trying to talk about the rest of the preseason here, but some of the national stories that you've been keeping an eye on. Hassan Reddick wants to be traded from the Jets. What a disaster that is, as Philly moved him there, and he knew they was going to have to get a new contract, and now that's going sideways. CeeDee Lamb with the Cowboys and Brandon Ayuk with the 49ers. I mean, we're talking Raiders. We're in a bubble here, but I'm doing a national show tonight, and I can tell you that that's all I'm going to be talking about is the players in the preseason who are under contract. They have contracts. They want to get new contracts while they're under contract, and it's starting to cause and become an issue with all 3 of those teams.
At the NBA, JT, and it's a league where the power is in the players' hands. And now there's NFL players that are trying to do the same thing. But in the NFL, you got 53 men on a regular season roster. You got 90 men in the preseason. If you try to hold out, look at what happened to Le'Veon Bell. heck, it feels like yesterday, but it was a couple of years ago when that happened. He was out of the league for a year. He came back. He was never the same player that he was before. Inactivity really can kill somebody's career. And I know that players at times feel that they're underpaid, especially when there's a next man up who gets a big contract on another team and be like, yeah, I want to get paid what that guy gets paid. Well, it's like, oh, yeah, you signed your contract 2 years ago, honor it, and you could potentially get paid as that guy did too. But it's the NFL. We know a lot of former players and the toll that it takes on their bodies, and they just want to be able to cash in whenever they can, JT. So if you're on the player side, if you're on the team side, both sides have a valid point when it comes to one wanting to negotiate and the other one wanting to have the player honor the contract that they signed.
Your Dodgers looking okay, man. I look at that pitching and say, I don't care. First off, Judge is better than Ohtani, but when Ohtani pitches, then Ohtani's a better player. But if he doesn't pitch, look at the numbers of my guy. All rise for the Judge. Look at home runs, average, and especially RBI, Yankees, Dodgers. And the Dodgers, Harry, you should be running away with this. And it seems like, you get tripped up here and there. Your Dodgers are predicted to win the World Series, but the Phillies are there, the Orioles. My Yankees are very inconsistent. How you feeling about your Dodgers?
It this way. Mookie Betts has been out for over 2 months.
Yes.
Freddie Freeman was out for a couple of weeks. Almost every single pitcher on the Dodgers roster has been hurt. River Ryan, a rookie who looked incredible in his 3 starts, just got hurt, out for the rest of the season. And yet, the Dodgers at this moment have the best record in the National League and are a half a game back from the best record in baseball. Mookie Betts is coming back tonight, so you're going to have the MB3, the big 3 guys up top on the lineup. The Dodgers hopefully get healthy at the right time. Max Muncy should be back soon. Walker Buehler should be back soon. So as September and October comes up, the Dodgers are getting healthy, and now it's time to show up or shut up because they have invested a lot of money and they need to win this whole thing. But that's what I'm saying. A lot of injuries, a lot of stuff went down for the Dodgers, and they still have the best record in the National League and half a game behind the best record in baseball.
Thank you, Harry. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you. I know you got a lot of big things on your plate that you're working on, so we appreciate Harry Ruiz for joining us, Jess, as we thank Harry. Appreciate you, Harry. Talk to you soon.
Take care, JT. See you tomorrow at practice, brother.
You got it. See Harry Ruiz tomorrow at practice. Oh, man, there's a lot going on there. I got a little Dodger talk in there with Harry Ruiz. So that's where we're at. Thanks to Harry. I'm wide open the rest of the show to talk to you. Real simple idea today. Who do you got at quarterback? Period. Who do you got? You got to tell me who you got. I don't know. Maybe you went to practice in Costa Mesa. Probably not. You're coming to practice here. You've been following the insiders like Vinny Bonsignore, Vic Tafer, Deshaun Reed, whoever you get your information from, Harry Ruiz. At this time, it's time to figure out how close we are. I'm assuming after the game on Saturday night, when I'm drinking my Modelo, outside the game afterward, 1 Modelo. I don't drink and drive. 0. Matter of fact, I won't. I'll wait till I come home. And then I'm going to wake up on Sunday, and I think Antonio Pierce might make a decision Sunday, the latest Monday, going into the Niner game, and we'll know who the quarterback is for the Raiders. And then that'll change our programming. It will. It's a big change for me because then we're going to go all in. I want to thank our crew. We had over 100 people in our YouTube feed, considering 3 months ago I had none. I think we had none when we started this. Nice job. So if you're not on our YouTube, you should be. JT The Brick YT. That stands for YouTube. Get on in there, subscribe. It's free. Share. It's free. And you can be a part of the show and hear what we have to say in between when we come back. And we are thrilled about that. Again, I had a meeting today with Steve Gomez, our king of Modelo here in town, with, what we're doing with the Black Hole. Modelo's got a big vision for this show. Not only are they a partner of mine, they're a partner that's very engaged in this show, and they want to make the show better. So we're going to come up with a couple of new promotions from Modelo, and I think you're going to appreciate it. Get a little competition going amongst you guys and girls. I got to wake you up. I got to wake you up after July and August. Got to get you going here. As ESPN's putting on Little League games, and I'm excited because we got a Little League team. Adam Johnson joined us earlier, and we got to get rolling on this show. But don't go too early. Hold, as the commercial says, hold. I'm going to need you for that Charger week, man. I'm going to need you big for that Charger week. So you take the rest of your summer, do your thing. We finished up with the top 10 Raider games of all time. Coming in at number 1, Super Bowl 18, Black Sunday, as the Raiders won their third Super Bowl. So we love that. Tequila Commissariat was the most awarded tequila. You immediately notice this beautiful packaging. After one sip, you'll experience how smooth it is. It's the Ferrari of tequila, the single highest quality. 100% all natural, handcrafted tequilas. Tequila Commissariat, proud partner of our show on Raider Nation Radio. All right, everybody, thank you. Appreciate everybody. We'll be back here on Mad Dog Sports Radio tonight.
It's the morning tailgate.
Jason Fitz, yeah.
4 to 7 p.m. I'm on Mad Dog tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Keith. I am not the voice of the Raiders. That is Jason Horowitz. I like to consider myself a big voice, if not in Raider Nation. Man, I've been doing it going on 27 years, man. I appreciate the compliments, and thanks for listening and watching. Catch the rest of the show in the Raiders mobile app.
The morning tailgate, weekdays at 7 a.m. on Raider